Assalamualaikum and hi everyone, my name is Hazwani Husna, Binti Halihul Jaman. So today guys, I'd like to share something interesting topic with all of you, which is the habitat loss, the untold story. This topic is very interesting and quite serious because it's related to our current situations. When we talk about a habitat loss, is actually we will think what is habitat? So habitat is the natural environment where the animals and the plants live in. So this habitat loss is actually can be placed into three categories, which is the first is the habitat destruction. Habitat destruction is the act when we alter the natural habitat dramatically until the natural habitat was incapable to support its native species that live there. And the second is the habitat fragmentation. This is the process when the largest area was taken to divide it into the small area, so it's confusing the animal that live there. And the third is the habitat degradation. Habitat degradation is the common destruction that occur worldwide, which is it caused by the pollution, which is alter the quality of our air, water, and land. So basically, when we talk about the habitat loss, we must think about what the factor that caused the habitat loss, right? So the first factor or reason that caused the habitat loss is the high demand for human population. So in United Nations Security Council Resolution 2103, that has been stated that the world population will be reached 9.6 billion by 2050. This situation is caused the highest demand for the food, shelter, and necessity to maintain the human existing lifestyle, and also a lot of natural resources was used widely and been destroyed to support this necessity. And according to a few studies in the journal Frontiers in Forest and Global Change, they also state that approximately 3% of the land ecosystem was still unaffected by the human activity. That means that 97% of the land ecosystem has been altered by the human for their interest. And if I give you a simple example that we can look on our surrounding is where globally 36% of our land ecosystem has been altered for the agriculture development. This agriculture development was run to support the food production for human. And besides that, also the other factor that caused the habitat destruction is the destruction of wildlife habitat, where the habitat was being destroyed to make a way for the human settlements and also a massive buildings. So often we hear a news about the dead wildlife that we killed due to the issue of trespassing into human housing. But did you ever know why this wildlife acted like that? It's actually the house where you're living in is the primary route for the animal before the natural habitat was being destroyed to make our house. So we are the one that colonizing their territory. And try to imagine that you are living in your house comfortably, and until one day when you're waking up from your sleep, you see everything that you have ever known was being changed, and the route that you're usually walking on suddenly is bringing you to a mysterious place and is filled by the numerous danger that could harm you. So and also it's no way for you to get out from there. So this scenario would be very tragic and terrifying, and many people will be suffered. Yet as their habitat was being destroyed, this is what happening to our wildlife and marine species every day. And besides, they're also trespassing into human housing because they want to search for food, but out of fear of such being attacked by such animal, this human decided to kill them. So this also affects in habitat loss, which is the reduction in our biodiversity. So from the research on African conservancy, they also state that 80% of our biological diversity was being decline in the number due to the habitat destruction. Actually, these animals are very intelligent. They could conduct themselves to survive, but when their natural habitat was being destroyed, it disrupted their daily activity. So this animal could not be able to protect themselves and also care for the young. Without we realizing, actually, this habitat loss also cause the impact on our natural ecosystem, such as the activity like deforestation or cutting a tree is actually contribute to the global warming or climate change, which the carbon dioxide that are stored in the tree will be released into the air until it warms up the earth most faster, and this could lead to the temperature shift that could wipe out all the species on this world. So besides that, if you look on the freshwater or marine ecosystem, it also causes the water pollution from the agriculture activities on the land, which the use of the pesticides, insecticides could also lead to the lead and harm the marine species in the water. Okay, so besides that, when we already know what is the factor or effects on the habitat from the habitat destruction, of course we would like to take a step to prevent this problem from occurring continuously. So the things that we can suggest is, first, our country can establish the strict regulation and rules where we can determine the certain area that can be used for the human benefit, and also we can keep more region untouched for the sake of biodiversity by adopting more restraint to them. And besides that, we can also raise an awareness and educate the people about the importance of biodiversity by like we are living in technological era, so we have a lot of platforms such as social media where we can raise an awareness in people by share the consequence of habitat destruction and provide the emotional response for to motivate the people to protect the natural resources. So that's what we can conclude here, that all creatures on this world have the right to defend what belongs to them. But we as the rational human being, we must be sensitive and concerned about the other life to maintain the balance of the biodiversity on our earth. So I hope that this sharing could benefit all of you and you get something from this sharing. So thank you for listening until the end. Thank you guys. Bye.